Hi guys, Ken here, and I just wanted to do a quick tier list on the Feral Druid comps. These are all the comps known to me. I may miss one, but if I miss one, then it clearly is not even deserving to be on this list. I went ahead and put the two top tier comps on the screen for you, Jungle and FMP. So both are really good CC comps. Jungle with more sustain, Feral Mage Paladin with more burst. Jungle orients around a freezing trap, while Feral Mage Paladin revolves around a poly. Freezing trap is instant cast versus the polymorph, which is not as instant cast, you know? So you don't run MS with the jungle because the hunter already brings the MS pet, right? And as Feral Mage Paladin, you want to bring the MS so you have more sustain, right? That's the main difference, right? As jungle, I'd usually run Kyrian or Necrolord. As Feral Mage Paladin, any of the three covenants work. Clearly not Venthyr. If you go Venthyr, you're memeing. I tried it, didn't work. Don't ever want to do it again. It was a nightmare. Those are the basic ones for those two comps. I will do a guide on each of those comps here soon. Next one that I want to cover is actually called Kitty Cleave, right? We're just gonna label it as Kitty. You know what Discord mods call those, you know? Alright, so Kitty Cleave is a feral and an Armsware and a Arsham usually. I'm pretty sure it's usually played with an Arsham. Basically, Kitty Cleave is a high pressure, high sustain with high live lord, right? Sounds great. The issue is, and my experience of playing it, it's actually a little bit more difficult to kill than I would think, right? So Kitty Cleave has all these great things, but it lacks its like really big ability to kill. I'd always run Necrolord as Kitty Cleave. I don't know any other like covenant that would be good. If I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments. If I'm bad, then go ahead and let me know in my DMs. Don't comment that. It hurts. It stays there. Not actually. But with that being said, Kitty Cleave is main. It's gonna be your main like starter comp in my opinion. It's a great starter comp for you to get used to, you know, PvP and 3v3 arena. So is jungle. FMP is a little bit more up there on the difficulty in my opinion. I have a harder time playing FMP than I do jungle. Then again, like jungle and Kitty are the best starter comps, right? So let's go and circle those in crayon because I can. Starter comps right here. So those being our starter comps, keep track of those. Difficulty on that one is more along the lines of red. We'll go ahead and do that. We'll outline this in red crayon so you can see like the difficulty. Shazam. All right. So next comp that I want to talk about is Feral Lock, which I'd put at honestly a B tier. I want to say B or A tier. I'm going to say B because it's a little bit difficult this season. FLS. Feral Lock Shaman is a stun comp. Basically, the Feral Druid's entire like life goal is to stun as this comp. You want to make sure that you like communicate between you and your log that, hey, I want to do a stun go. Can we do that? And your log's, hey, I don't have any chaos bolts. I can't cast. We need to wait for that. And you're like, okay. And so you either clear it up so he can cast, or you CC the off target, main kill target, and bash the off target. Right? And that'll triple CC, and that'll allow your warlock to cast, and that could net you a kill. Right? That is the thing about that. So we're gonna put that as an orange because it's not impossible. It's a little difficult though this season. So we're gonna put that in the orange difficulty, right? Outline it a little bit more because I didn't know that I could do that, and it's kind of cool. The next one that I want to talk about is probably going to... Alright. I didn't know I had music playing. I'm gonna cut that out. Next comp that I want to talk about is probably going to be Feral Shaman. I don't think it's talked about enough. I'd say it's a C. I'd say it's a B tier comp this season. Feral Shaman is in my Feral Shaman. We'll say Priest or FPS. You can do either that. We're gonna do Feral Shaman Priest. I'd say this one isn't too good this season, but I'd say that you could get somewhere with it because of the MS. That's probably where I'd put it out of B tier. I wouldn't recommend queuing this. This definitely isn't in a starter comp. We're gonna put this as orange. I haven't queued it enough to give it a real rating, so take this rating of B tier with a grain of salt. I've played it once, but like it's a different comp. It's not for me, is what I'm saying. So I'm a little bit biased on saying that I'm not too much of a fan of this. The next comp actually is what I'm really excited for this season. We're gonna label it as Ebola. So Ebola can be played with a Frost DK, thank you, or a Unholy DK. I prefer it with an Unholy DK. I remember my friend telling me they fought an Ebola cleave that was Frost, and they called it the common cold cleave, right? Because it's mainly played with Unholy DK. But it can work as either. So I'd say this is actually a green, because actually a blue one, because this is also a really easy starter comp. So this one is mainly just training down the healer or causing a lot of pressure and just live lording, right? So you need to be able to play defensively and have off heals as this comp. Do a go with a sun, you know, triple grip, try and like just do as much pressure as you can while living. So it's a live lord pressure comp. And with that, that's really what sums up Ebola. You do run the MS with this, as well as with Feral Shaman Priest, in case I didn't say, and FLS. So yeah, that's really all I can say about Ebola. I played it a little bit this season. I think it's a really good comp. Sadly, whenever I played it, all my binds were fucking up because Feral has a lot of binds. But you know, other than that, I'd say this is actually a really fire comp to load up and try and give it a go. Definitely a pretty decent beginner comp if you're looking to get into Feral 3s. So the next comp that I want to talk about is actually Bleed Cleave, right? We're going to go and put that down here. Bleed Cleave. This was actually my first 2400. My first 2400 was Bleed Cleave. Can I edit it? No, I can't. It's fine. I was just going to put it as Bleed. So Bleed Cleave is Feral Rogue Priest. I played it back in Season 3, and I got 2396, and then I tanked, and then I quit. So I call it my first 2400, but it was really just my first, like, fucking cock tease of 2400. I would never recommend this comp, but if you are wanting to try it, you don't run MS, and you just try and do as much pressure as you can until you can do a one-shot go. That is what it operates around. Bleed Cleave is a one-shot go. The next comp, I don't know what else. Just don't play Bleed Cleave. Just don't. The next comp that I want to talk about is probably going to be Feral Priest Shaman. All right. So this is a little different. I'd put this as A tier, actually. I'd put this as A tier. Feral SPs Arsham. So, or FPS. So remember, FSP, Feral Elemental Shaman Priest, and Feral Shadow Priest Shaman, alright? That's the difference in them. Feral Shadow Priest Shaman is a really good comp with a really high skill cap. I love the flexibility of the comp. I personally am not too good at it. I want to learn more, but in the time that I've played it, I've gotten to 2300 with it, but I just haven't been able to like really push with it. The only comps that I've gotten really high with are these, right? And so I'd put Feral Priest Shaman as an orange because it is definitely not beginner friendly, but once you get used to it, it is a really good comp. Like, absolutely one of the best comps in the game. But personally, I'm not too good at it. I haven't played enough with a Shadow Priest, and I don't understand enough about Shadow Priest to really do a good, like, thought on it. You know, I haven't been able to really put my all into it, but I'm thinking I might try it out this season. With this, you would definitely run MS because the Shadow Priest doesn't have an MS, but I think that it's really good, especially this season because of the MS. I'm thinking about trying it some out this season, but I have a bunch of comps that I want to try and that I want to see, like, which is my favorite, and then I want to see if I can push rank 1. The next comp is probably... What am I missing? Feral DH. Feral DH is a very interesting comp. FDH. Feral DH Paladin or Priest is a really gimp cheese comp that I don't think will get too far. It works really, really, really well with the Boomkin though. So if you have been wanting to play Boomy, then yeah, I'd run Feral DH Boomy. But other than that, I can't really say that this is a comp that I'd run if you wanted to even do a start or push. So I'd put this at like a perfect gray area. Like I don't know about this one, you know. That one's a little bit sus. Never want to say that again. Holy fuck. And basically, you run MS with it, or the DH runs MS. You guys basically discuss. I don't know which is better. I don't play this comp, and nor do I recommend you ever play it. If you're starting, or if you're glad aspiring, like, or if you're already glad, like, just don't play it. It's bad. I hate it. It smells funny. One last comp, just because there's an empty thing called the D tier. This is actually going to be called... So Subscribe Cleave is an interesting one. I'd always recommend Subscribe Cleave. Subscribe Cleave is whenever you click the subscribe button down below. Definitely put this one as a green one. Absolutely would highly recommend. I have a lot more coming on this video. Hopefully I can get some like footage of some of the comps. I probably won't, but I'll show you, like, I'll have what pops up, etc. on the screen. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and peace.